Good morning, guys. All of you can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, very good. So, guys, anybody having any questions? Did you guys practice Jenkins? Did you guys practice Jenkins? Guys, before we start the session, anybody having any questions? You can unmute your mic and you can speak out. No questions? Okay, good. Guys, today we are going to understand Jenkins, right? What is Jenkins and why we need to go for Jenkins? Jenkins is a CI/CD software. CI/CD means continuous integration and continuous deployment. CI/CD means continuous integration and continuous deployment. Whatever the code that we are developing, we need to build that code and we need to deploy that code into the server. Jenkins is used to automate build and deployment process. Jenkins is used to automate build and deployment process of applications. It is used to automate build and deployment process. You're understanding what is Jenkins? Jenkins is a CI/CD software. CI/CD means continuous integration and continuous deployment. Jenkins is mainly used to automate build and deployment process. So what is build and deployment process? Right. What is build and deployment? So what is the build and deployment? Here, build means take the source code from the Git repository. Take source code from Git repo. Package that code. I mean to say compile and package that code. Compile and package that code. Then you can perform code review. Upload build artifact to the Nexus. So in the real time, we are going to use Nexus repository, right? Upload artifact to the Nexus, deploy the application. So this is called as build and deployment process. So we know that as a developer, we will write the code and we'll keep the code in the Git repository. So DevOps team will be there. They are responsible to take the source code from the Git repository, compile that code and package that. So as we are Java developers, Java code should be compiled. then it should be packaged as a jar file or war file. Then they will use a Sonar Cube to perform the code review. Then they will upload project build artifact into Nexus repository, and we are going to deploy our application. So Jenkins is a CI/CD software. CI/CD means continuous integration and continuous deployment. This is Jenkins is used to automate. Jenkins is used to automate build and deployment process. So what is build and deployment process? What is build and deployment process? So take the source code from the Git repository, compile and package that code, then perform code review, upload build artifact to Nexus, then deploy the application. So earlier, people used it to perform this build and deployment process manually. It will take a lot of time. Why? Because in the real time, we will have multiple environments, application environments. In the real time, multiple environments will be available for the application. So as we discussed already several times in our classes, dev environment, SIT environment, UAT environment, pilot environment, and prod environment will be available. So now deploying application, performing build and deployment process in all these environments is difficult. Build and deployment process in all these environments is difficult and time-taking process, because we will have multiple environments. Those are called as application environments. Dev environment, sit environment, dev environment, sit environment, right? UAT environment, pilot environment, and prod environment. Build and deployment process in all these environments is difficult and time-taking process, right? So earlier, people used it to perform all these operations manually. Take the source code from the Git repository, compile and package that code, perform that code review, upload build artifact to the Nexus, deploy the application. How many places we need to deploy our application? Our application should be deployed into multiple environments: dev, SIT, UAT, pilot, and prod. Build and deployment process in all these environments is a difficult and a time-taking process. So to avoid the challenges involved in manual build and deployment process, we are going for Jenkins. All right. So whatever the build process that we do manually, right? To avoid the challenges involved in the manual build and deployment process, we are going for Jenkins. Build and deployment process in all these environments is a difficult and a time-taking process. To avoid the challenges involved in the manual build and deployment process, we are going for Jenkins. So why manual build and deployment process is a risk? Because every day, several times, several developers will modify the code. Multiple developers will be available in the project. Guys, one right guys? So multiple developers will be available in the team. So all those developers will be modifying the code several times in a day. Whenever the code is modified, then I need to take the code from the GitHub. I need to compile that code, package that code. I need to perform the code review. I need to upload the artifact into Nexus repository. Then I need to deploy that application. I need to create the Docker image for that. Create a Docker image. Create Docker image, right? Deploy, create container, create container. So this is the process that we need to follow. Now, diagrammatically, if I represent this, so here GitHub will be available. That is a repository where our source code will be stored. Then we need to take that source code from the GitHub. We need to compile and package. For that, we need Maven. Once the compilation and package got completed, then we need SonarQube to review that code. And after, we need to upload that artifact into Nexus. Once it is done, then we need to go for Docker to create the Docker image. Once it is done, we need to deploy that application in the Kubernetes cluster. So this is the process that we need to do. So these are the tools that we are going to use in the project operations. As a developer, we will write the code, we will test that code, we will keep that code into GitHub repository. As a developer, we will write that code, we will test that code, we will keep that code in the repository. Here, our dev team will be available, development team. Multiple developers will be available in the project. They will write the code and they will store that code into GitHub. Once that code is stored into GitHub, then we need to take that code. We need to give that code to the Maven. Maven will compile and package. Then we need to review that code. Code review we need to do using SonarQube. Then we need to deploy that code artifact into Nexus repository for the backup. Then we need to build the Docker image for our application. Then we need to create the Docker container for that by using Kubernetes. So here, if I recruit one person to do these operations, assume that I have taken one DevOps engineer to perform these operations. Then what that person should do? He has to take the code from the GitHub repository. Okay. He has to communicate with the Maven. He has to use the Maven tool. He has to use the SonarQube tool, Nexus tool, Docker tool, and the Kubernetes tool. He has to use all these tools to perform these operations. How much time it will take to do all these things? How much time? You need to pull the code from the GitHub. You need to package that code by using Maven. You need to review the code by using Sonar. You need to upload the artifact into Nexus. You need to build the Docker image. You need to deploy that into Kubernetes cluster. Assume that minimum to minimum, it will take 30 minutes of time. 30 minutes for build and deploy. He's going to take 30 minutes for build and deploy. Now, for one build and deployment, it is taking 30 minutes of time. For one build, he's taking 30 minutes of time. Now, daily 30 builds are there. Okay, 30 times I need to do this build and deployment process. I need to do the build and deployment in the dev environment. I need to do the build and deployment for SIT environment. I need to do the build and deployment for UAT environment. I need to do the build and deployment for pilot environment. I need to do the build and deployment for prod environment. So for one build and deployment, it is taking 30 minutes of time. When I need to do that for multiple environments, how much time it is going to take? How much time it is going to take? For 1 hour, he can do 2 builds, but I need to do 30 builds in a day, sometimes more than 30. Sometimes more than 30. Then what to do? Can he complete all the builds in a day? Can he complete all the builds in a day? He cannot. And he is a human. Humans means we'll do the mistakes. Human errors will be available. We may do some mistakes while doing our work. Doing a mistake is quite common in everyone's life. So as a software engineer, we will do some human mistakes. Then build and deployment process will be delayed. So a number of challenges are available when you want to deploy the application. Okay. So those are called as manual deployment process challenges. Manual deployment process challenges. Now, how we are going to overcome those problems? By using one software. What is that software? Jenkins. What is Jenkins? Jenkins is a CI/CD software. CI/CD means continuous integration and continuous deployment. Jenkins is used to automate build and deployment process. What is build and deployment? Taking the source code from the Git repository, compile and package that source code, perform the code review, upload the build artifact to Nexus repository, create the Docker image, and create the container. So all these things comes under build and deployment process. How many times you need to do this build and deployment process? We will have several environments in the real time. Several environments will be available in the real time. Several developers will be available in the project. Several times, developers will be modifying the source code. When the source code is modified, then we need to build and deploy that source code in the environments. So doing build and deployment multiple times in multiple environments is very difficult process. So to avoid the challenges involved in the manual build and deployment process, we are going to use one software that is called Jenkins. So you guys able to understand what is the Jenkins? Jenkins is used to automate build and deployment process. Some people will call Jenkins as a CI/CD software. It is used to integrate and deliver our application. Continuous integration and continuous deployment we can achieve by using Jenkins. Jenkins software developed by using Java. Jenkins software developed by using Java. By using Jenkins, we can deploy Python application, we can deploy .NET application, we can deploy PHP application, we can deploy Java application also. This software is developed by using Java. To run this software, Java is required. To run the Jenkins in our system, first we need to install Java. To run the Jenkins, first we need to install Java. Are you guys clear? Jenkins is used to automate build and deployment process. Jenkins is a CI/CD software. CI/CD means continuous integration and continuous deployment. This is software developed by using Java language. The software developed by using Java language. To run Jenkins, Java is mandatory. So first we need to install Java in our system. Then only we can install Jenkins. Are you guys able to follow me? Are you guys able to follow me? How to install Jenkins, right? Jenkins setup. So Jenkins we can set up in multiple ways, guys. Okay. We can install Jenkins. Manually. And the second one, we can run Jenkins as a Docker container. We can install Jenkins manually in our machines, or else we can run Jenkins as a Docker container. Which one you want to do? Guys, which one you want? Step 1 or step 2? How you want me to set up the Jenkins? Right. So if you want to go for step 1, Jenkins setup here. I have prepared one document, how to launch one EC2 instance Ubuntu machine. Then once the machine is created, connect to that machine. Then in that machine, we need to install Java software. Here, step number 11, sudo apt install default JRE. We are going to install JRE in our machine. Once JRE is installed, to install the Jenkins, these are the 3 commands we need to execute. So Jenkins repository we are adding to the Linux package manager, and we are going to install the Jenkins. So once the package is added, by using this command, we can install Jenkins software. Okay, once the Jenkins is installed, we can check the status of the Jenkins. So Jenkins will run by default on the port number 8080. We need to enable that port. Like this, we are going to get the screen. Then we are going to access that. Okay, we are going to install the Jenkins, and like this, Jenkins dashboard will be available. So this dashboard we will use to create the jobs in the Jenkins. First, let me go with the manual Jenkins setup in the Linux machine. So let me log in into my AWS account. Okay, launch instances, launch instance. In the launch instance, I'm giving the name as Jenkins VM. I'm creating one Jenkins virtual machine, Jenkins VM. Okay, Ubuntu image I'm using, guys. Ubuntu is a Linux flavor. T2 micro instance I'm using. Key pair is available. Okay, then network settings. I'm going with the default security group. Then click on launch instance. All right. So with this, we have created one Linux virtual machine. In that Linux virtual machine, I'm going to install Java first. Then I will install Jenkins. Why I am installing Java first? Jenkins software developed using Java language. To run the Jenkins, Java is mandatory. Jenkins server runs on port number 88. So how we have Tomcat server which will run on the 8080 port. Similarly, Jenkins also will run on the port number 88. Jenkins also will run on the port number 88. Are you guys clear with my point? Are you guys clear with my point? What is the default port number of the Jenkins? Jenkins default port number is 88. So we can install Jenkins manually, or else we can run the Jenkins as a Docker container. All right, fine. I have taken my virtual machine. Let me connect it to this virtual machine from Mobile Extreme. Let me connect to this machine with Mobile Extreme session, SSH, remote host, username. It is a Ubuntu machine. So let me go to username as Ubuntu, private key. My PEM file is available. Click on OK. All right. With this, I'm able to connect with Jenkins machine, Linux machine. As of now, it is Linux machine. Now, in this Linux machine, I need to install Jenkins. So directly we can't install the Jenkins. First, we need to install Java. Why? Because Jenkins software is developed by using Java. First, let me update the packages by using sudo apt-get update. I'm doing the updates using package manager, sudo apt-get update. Existing packages will be updated. Then check the Java version in this machine. By default, Java is available or not. By default, Java is not available. Java version not available here. Then what we need to do? Let me install Java software. JRE is sufficient. Okay, so sudo apt install default JRE option is available. Let me install that. Yes, confirm. Java installation got completed. All right, Java installation got completed. Now, once it is done, we need to add the Jenkins key to the repository. By executing this command, we can add the Jenkins key to the repository. These three commands are very important, guys. So here, adding the Jenkins key to the Linux package manager repository. Copy this command, execute. Yes, add it. Now take this command, one minute. These are the 3 commands that we need to execute. This is first one to add the key. Then second command, added sudo apt get update. Once the Jenkins key is added, I'm updating this package manager. Yes, it is done. Once this process is completed, then next step, install the Jenkins. First, we need to add the package. After adding the package, then we need to execute this command to install Jenkins. All right, take this command and install the Jenkins. Jenkins has no installation candidate. I think it is having some wrong key. Let me go to GitHub. Maybe the key which I have in the PDF is not working. Let me go with this Jenkins setup. Sudo apt get update. Then JRE is already installed. Take this one. No such file or key. We copy this curl command. Yes, I'm not able to get this key. Let me take the official website. Download Jenkins Ubuntu. This is the key. Same thing we are using. Okay, it's working. Then add the Jenkins apt repository entry. Add it. Then do the update. Done. Java already installed. Install the Jenkins. Now Jenkins is trying to install, guys. You can see this. Guys, in the PDF, whatever the keys are there, those keys are outdated. So you can take the latest keys from Jenkins official website. So this is the key that we are adding. So in the PDF, in the notes, whatever the key is available that is not working. So I have taken the keys from Jenkins official website. With this key, it is working now. I will update the document and I will share that. Yes. So with this, Jenkins installation got completed. Yes. With this, Jenkins installation got completed. Okay. So once this Jenkins installation got completed, then what is the next step? Okay. Check the status of the Jenkins by using sudo systemctl status Jenkins. Now you can see Jenkins is active. Jenkins is up and running. Jenkins is up and running. So once the Jenkins is running, how to access the Jenkins? Now go to our machine, check the security group. In the security group, check it 8080 port number is enabled or not. Jenkins server will run on the port number 88. Inbound rules. Okay. Let me add the rule custom TCP 8080 anywhere IPv4. Click on save the rules. All right. Next one. Go to this machine, access its public IP with 8080 port number. Then we can access our Jenkins server. Take its public IP. Take its public IP. Go to the new tab, IP:88. Now, so when we access that IP, we are getting a page called unlock Jenkins. So to unlock the Jenkins, password will be available here. Now we need to copy that password. Cat the location. Cat the location, not working. Sudo permission is required for that. Sudo cat the location. The location is displaying here. Please copy the password from the location and paste it below. In the document, I have given that step as well. After enabling 8080, we are able to access. So this is the command we need to execute to copy the password. Location already given here. Just we need to add sudo cat for that. Then we got the password. Select this password and enter here. Continue. Okay. Installed suggested plugins. So in the Jenkins, what are the plugins are required? We can select that. Click on suggested plugins. Now it will take some time to install the plugins in the Jenkins, right? We have to wait for that. Guys, still the installation process in progress. Guys, we have to wait till all the plugins got installed. I think we are almost done. All right. So plugins got installed, guys. So I want to create one user account, username Ashok IT, some password for that. Okay. Your full name, your email ID. Click on save and continue. So this is our Jenkins server URL now. Save and finish. Jenkins is ready. Start using Jenkins. So with this, we are able to set up our Jenkins server. So this is the dashboard in the Jenkins. Okay. Welcome to Jenkins. You can create the job in the Jenkins and you can do the build and deployment. So if you want to install anything, there is an option called Manage Jenkins is available. Configure the tools and locations, and plugins will be available. Credentials we can configure. Security we can configure. All the things are available. Here, if you go to Global Tools, I want to use Maven for my project. And I want Java for my project. I want Git for my project. Okay, I want to download the Git repository. Okay, for that Git software we have to install. I have to compile my project by using Maven. For that we need to add Maven plugin. Right. Default settings, default global settings, add the JDK, add the Git, and all that stuff will be available. Use the default Maven settings, use the default global settings of the Maven. Git, install the Git client automatically. Okay. Maven installations, add the Maven. I'm giving the name for the Maven, MVN, which version? Maven 3.9.2 version of the Maven. Okay. So if I select the Maven here, automatically Maven will be installed in the Jenkins. Java already we installed, so no need to set up the Java again. So just we need to go to Jenkins dashboard and we need to go for Manage Jenkins, and we should go for tools here. In the tools, I have added Git client and I have added Maven. Okay. So Maven 3.9.2. Click on save and apply and save. So with this, our Jenkins machine is ready. Jenkins machine is ready. Now by using this Jenkins, we need to create the job to automate build and deployment process. So to create the job, we will use a new item. Okay. And here item name, my first project, my first job. Just give me my first job. Freestyle project I'm going to use. Click on OK. Click on OK. So where is your project available? Where is your project available? My project will be available in the GitHub repository. My project will be available in the GitHub repository. So you can take the code from GitHub repository by using source code management. So let me give some GitHub repository related to any Java application or any Maven application, Java web application. All right, let me take this GitHub, give that Git URL, repository URL. So I have given Git repository URL. Credentials are not required, and branch name is master. Branch name is master. Next one, build steps. What I want to do is I want to execute Maven goals. So here it is not displaying. Let me execute a shell command, right? So you can invoke top level Maven targets. So default Maven version I am selecting. Goals, I'm going to give clean package. Click on apply, click on save. Let me run the job. My job is created. That is my first job. Let me go to my first job. Let me click on build now. So when I execute build now, it will show you what is happening in the Jenkins. Go to console output. Then you can see what is happening. If you see here, this Jenkins is downloading the project from the Git repository. It is cloning the Git repository and it is executing Maven goals. I have given the Maven goal as clean package, right? After cloning this, here Maven goal I have given. It is trying to execute the Maven goals on the Jenkins. First time Maven is used in this Jenkins machine, so it is downloading all the Maven dependencies that are required. Then finally, it is saying that finished success. For my application, war file is created. You can check here, building the war file. So the application war file got generated in the target directory. So where this war file is available, by default, Jenkins will be available in the var lib Jenkins workspace, my first job, target, Maven web app war file. So we are able to download the code from the GitHub and we are able to package that code by using Maven. We are able to create the war file for our application. Are you guys clear with this point? Are you guys clear with this point? Suppose I want to build my Spring Boot application. Okay. I want to build my Spring Boot application. So let me take a repository which is related to Spring Boot application. Go to this repository. Yeah, Spring Boot Docker application is available. This is Spring Boot Docker application. Just I want the repository to see, am I able to clone the repository or not? And am I able to package my project by using Maven with the help of Jenkins or not? So deployment part, we will see Jenkins with the Docker integration. We will run the application as a Docker container. Now go to our Jenkins. Go to our Jenkins. Let us create one more job, my second job. I'm giving the name as my second job, freestyle project. Click on OK. Now source code management. Go to the Git repository. Give the Git repository URL. Spring Boot Docker application Git repository I'm giving. And this repository having the branch name as main. So let me give the branch name as main. By default, master will come. You check your branch name. My branch name is main. I'm giving that. Then coming to build step. Invoke top level targets. Maven version I'm selecting, which is configured as a global tool in the Jenkins. I want to execute clean package. Click on apply, click on save. So with this, my second job also created. If you observe, my first job is available, my second job is available. First job is used for normal Java web application. Second job is used for Spring Boot application. Go to the second job. Here there is an option called build now. Click on that. My job execution is started. Go to console output. Now you can see it has cloned our Git repository. It has cloned our Git repository and it is downloading the required dependencies for our Spring Boot application. Finally, it will package our boot application as a jar file. Now you can see that building the jar file, it is creating the jar file required for the application. Finally, Maven build got success. It packaged our application as a jar file. Where that jar file will be available? That jar file will be available in the project target directory. In the project target directory, that jar file is available. Okay, guys. Are we able to understand how to create the job and how to run the job? Are you guys able to understand how to create the job and how to run the job? Yes, we are able to create the job and we are able to run the job. Jenkins installation, here there is an issue with the key. Let me take it. Curl command, this is first command and this is the second command. Okay. Then after you can go like this. This is one command. This is one command. And this is one command. So like this, we can install the Jenkins, right? Jenkins setup. So I'm taking Ubuntu machine. In that machine, we are installing Jenkins. All right. So Jenkins will run on the port number 8080. We need to enable that port number in the security group. Now, so tomorrow, I will show you Jenkins job execution with the Docker deployment. I want to run my Spring Boot application using Docker with the help of Jenkins. When you modify the code in the GitHub, automatically our Jenkins job should execute and it should deploy our application in the Docker container. Fully automation job we are going to create tomorrow. So today I want you to understand what is Jenkins, why we need to go for Jenkins, how to set up the Jenkins, and how to create the job and how to run the job by using Jenkins. So in the tomorrow session, I will show you how to deploy our application by using Jenkins and a Docker. Okay, how to automate complete project build and deployment process by using Jenkins, that we will discuss in the tomorrow session. Anybody having any questions today? I want everybody to complete the setup, guys. To do the setup, whatever the things are required, I have given here. Jenkins setup, first one, create Ubuntu VM in AWS. In AWS cloud. Connect to Ubuntu VM using MobaXtrom. Okay. Then after installing all these things, enable 8080 port number in security group. Enable 8080 port number in security group. Access Jenkins server. Access Jenkins server using below URL. So what will be the URL? URL will be http:// public IP:8080. So you can create one user account and you can install all the plugins and you can create Jenkins job. So to install, what are the keys are required? I have given those keys here. Good, guys. Yeah. You can unmute your mic and you can ask me, guys.
Hi, sir.
Yeah. Hello. Hello.
Hi, sir. Iqbal.
Yeah. Hi.
So in the YouTube video of yours, you have created a EC2 machine for Tomcat also for normal Maven web application, not for Spring Boot.
Correct.
My question is, sir, in my system, Oracle has been installed. So by default, Tomcat will run on 8080. It won't give me any conflict issue.
It will give you the conflict issue. If you are running the Tomcat and Oracle in the same machine, 8080 conflict, you need to change the port number for the Tomcat.
Sir, I know how to change it in my Spring Boot app in the backend, but I don't know how to change it in Linux machine because we are not doing anything now. We have created the EC2 machine and we have installed Tomcat in our machine and that's it.
No, you have taken the Tomcat in the Linux machine. Why to change the port number? Oracle database will not be there in the EC2 machine, right?
Okay. Only if if that application is running in the same local host, then we have to change it.
Your EC2 instance will run in the different different machine. In that, Oracle is not there.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, guys, I want all of you to complete this Jenkins setup and practice first 2 jobs. So tomorrow we'll see completely automated Jenkins job creation for Spring Boot application with Docker container creation.
Sir, I have one question, sir.
Yeah, please.
So interview question, sir. In Git, please go to Git account.
Okay.
There is one option tagging. Why we use tag, sir?
Sir, tagging is basically once you have done some code changes, you want to keep a bookmark of that. Okay, this point I have committed this change. So tags nothing but backup kind of thing. A mark, a pointer. So today morning at 8 o'clock, I have committed my code. So I will tag it. So that tomorrow when I see that, okay, so this code I have done for this particular bug. This code I have done for a particular development task. We will tag it. So tomorrow when you are going for a party, they will keep a tag on your hand. What is the reason? To identify who you are. Similarly, tags are used to identify when we have committed what.
Okay, means whatever we mention in commit time message, that is not considered tagging, right?
No.
Okay, it's different.
Yes.
Sir, good morning, sir. Sir, actually, I have one doubt, sir. Actually, when I creating that AWS account creation, it is asking 2 rupees that amount that is declined from bank side, sir. So is that any
Yeah, your card services, you need to activate that. I think domestic online payment services will be there in our debit card. We need to enable those services, then only it will take those 2 rupees.
Okay, sir. Is it through net banking or I need to go to branch directly, sir, for activate that one?
No. In the mobile app, you can enable that.
Okay, sir. I will check that, sir.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hi, sir. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Sir, in your video, you have talked about pipeline. What is that, sir?
That is tomorrow we are going to build the pipeline.
Sir, is that related to something Git pipeline or something?
No. The Jenkins CI/CD pipelines will be available. Pipeline nothing but complete automating build and deployment process. Pipeline nothing but step-by-step process to automate build and deployment.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
And sir, for everything for Sonar, for Jenkins, and for Tomcat and every other services Nexus, we need to have a separate EC2 instance for that.
Yeah, in the real time they will do that. Separate EC2. SonarQube will have separate EC2. Jenkins will have separate EC2. Kubernetes will have its own cluster. Nexus will have separate EC2. So all infrastructure team will take care of all those machines creation, which is required for our application operations. You got my point?
Yeah. And sir, how to access the log directly?
Log directly means?
Means say, for example, our application is generating the logs. I have multiple microservices and I want to
By
see the
using-
centralized log.
EFK setup we need to do to see the centralized log. Otherwise, it's not possible.
Okay.
So we have done the centralized log setup. Na?
Yeah, in
EFK.
Kubernetes, yeah.
Yes, right. By using that, we can monitor. All the microservices logs you can monitor at one place.
Okay.
Guys, check it. Jenkins document I have updated. Please follow that document and complete the Jenkins setup so that you can practice Jenkins CI/CD pipeline creation. So the commands
Sir,
also I have given clear.
Sir, are we doing all this process in our major project?
Yes, sir. We will do that.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, fine, guys. Good. Thank you. With this, I'm stopping now. We'll continue tomorrow. So please practice Jenkins setup and job creation.